What?
He's alive again?
Where am I? Cold. So cold. Is winter coming?
Hifumi! Wake up!
Huh? That's right. I remember now. Hope's Peak.
Come on, you gotta wake up!
I remember everything before I met you all. I met you all.
His memories are blending together. He has nothing useful to offer us.
The light. It's reaching out to me like the tail of a comet.
Hey, Hifumi! Who was it? Who attacked you? Who tried to kill you?
Who killed me? That's right. I remember their name. Yasuhiro.
His eyes closed, and they never opened again. Death for the second time. Absolute, undeniable death. No matter how many more of Hina's tears splashed his face, there was no second miracle. Reality set in again. This isn't some stereotypical fantasy world. Tears can't restore a person's vitality.
Honestly.
You have no tears, do you? No blood in your veins, no calcium in your bones. At least you have your meat.
Stop talking.
You're just angry. Going out of his way to return just to leave us with those unnecessary dying. Jesus Christ, man! Holy shit! Byakuya, you fucking asshole! Jeez! Now this game has become exceedingly boring. He said Yasuhiro, right?
Then perhaps...
Yasuhiro Hagakure. That is the only person you could have been referring to.
So in other words...
And with that, the case is solved. Assaulting people and even killing Taka and Hifumi. And then going so far as to hide their bodies. A criminal that hides his face behind a mask and uses a bunch of giant wooden hammers. Is that what Hiro is?
What is this?
If it's true, I can't forgive him. No way I can ever forgive him. He's killed two of our friends.
That's fine.
Anyway, if it's about time we track down the culprit in our little life or death game here. Although this time it's not all that life or death. This trial will conclude without much trouble.
Indeed.
Yes, it does look that way. It's going to begin again. We have to go through this one more time. I have to accept it. I have no choice but to go through with this, to make sure everyone survives. I just have to do it. First, I better check the Monokuma file. The victims were Hifumi Yamada and Kiyotaka Ishimura. The cause of death for each was a blow to the head. It is thought that they were both killed with a similar weapon. That's it.
Very strange.
Yeah, it's pretty strange. We get way less information this time than before. That's just no problem. After all, the events of this case unfolded before our very eyes. You should know more about what happened than the Monokuma file could, anyway. Maybe.
Well,
There's something else that's bothering me. Someone else has been missing for quite a while. Are you talking about Kyoko?
perhaps.
Without a doubt, she has an alibi for when Celeste and Hifumi were attacked. But what if the killer wasn't acting alone? What if they had an accomplice? An accomplice? An accomplice? What are you doing here?
Monokuma appears!
Don't be rude, I'm here to answer your question. What question?
Yep.
You're talking about accomplices, right? I'm pretty sure I explained it before, didn't I? During the first class trial.
Speaking of which, I'd like to ask the bear, if there is an accomplice, do they also become blackened?
So you ask, and so I shall answer. Each murder is allowed to have an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing will get to graduate.
So in other words, two people can work together, but one of them has no chance of profiting from it.
Then there's no way anyone would work together, right?
In other words,
So basically, you can be an accomplice if you want, but there's no gratification in it.
so then...
So are you saying nobody worked together this time either?
Hey,
Sorry, I can't answer that. It would obstruct the free exchange of information between you guys. I just want to make sure you don't forget, no matter how much you might assist in the murder,
Phew.
only one Blackened can graduate. An accomplice gets nothing.
You get nothing!
So, in other words,
And we only need to figure out who that one Blackened is that did the killing, right? Just like normal.
Well,
Okay, let me take this opportunity to clarify the whole shebang. In this class trial, what you need to determine is
extreme!
the one true Blackened who devised the murder plot and put it into action. The true Blackened? So just one person.
Well now,
That's enough for explainifying. Now it's down to the final battle between all of you and the Blackened. Good luck to all of the contestants. So there can only be one Blackened. An accomplice wouldn't benefit. And I can't see any way Kyoko would be connected to this case after all. You may be right. If that's true, then Kyoko, where are you?
however...
As long as she's not connected to the case, it doesn't matter. Let's get back to the investigation.
Indeed.
I have absolutely no doubt that Hiro is responsible. But for the time being, I suppose it can't hurt to pursue further information.
So,
No, don't you think we should consider a certain someone a suspect just in case? I'm talking about the murderous fiend Genocide Jack.
what?
Oh, speak of the devil, and she shall appear. What? I'm offended. You, when did you... I've been looking all over for you, master. When I woke up, you're nowhere to be found. That face.
You SOB!
Anyway, you there, milk sack swimmer girl.
Huh?
Milk sack?
You gotta be kidding!
Why do I gotta be a suspect?
What the heck?
Well, I mean, you are a serial killer.
What?
So, what, I'm like a special guest suspect every time? I have an alibi, you know. She's right about that. When we heard Hifumi scream, she was with me. When the bodies disappeared, she was still lying unconscious in the equipment room. Plus, Taka's body aside, I can't imagine any way she would have been able to move Hifumi's body.
Yep.
Besides, I calculate every move I make, and I'll get kill someone when everyone knows what I look like. They don't call me the murderous fiend for nothing.
What are you saying?
That's not the kind of thing you should be bragging about.
Let's see.
On another topic, should we post a guard by the bodies like before? We can't have them disappearing again.
So then...
Hina and I can handle that. You don't mind, do you, Hina? Sure, I'd be totally useless on the investigation anyway.
it's all clear now.
Then that's that. Let's begin. The whole thing is so strange. All but one of us has an alibi, so figuring out who did it should be obvious, right? But maybe it's just me, but I don't think it's going to be as straightforward as it seems. You know, I was thinking the exact same thing. This is too easy. And it's never that easy. Monokuma file has been added to the Truth Bullets section of your handbook. Also, I noticed something. There are hammers of all different sizes hanging on the wall, although some are more like mallets. Mallets? Could the Justice hammers have been designed using these as models? Either way, all the hammers here are obviously seen a lot of use. They're all covered in debris and chalky stone powder. Wait, for some reason, this one hammer... Thanks a lot, fucking loud motorcycle man. For some reason, this one hammer isn't dirty at all, and it's wet. Did someone wash it recently? Spotless hammer has been added to the Truth Bullet section of your handbook. I was more referring to the fact that some of the hammers were missing, but I guess some of the hammers were missing last time as well? I don't remember. Alright. Anything else? I guess we can look at the bodies, but I don't know what that will achieve. Taka, you'll never move again. According to Monokuma file, Taka died from a blow to the head. The found Justice Hammer 4 near his body in the equipment room. Is that what was used to kill him? And there's a tarp laid out under his body. Did the killer use this to move Taka? That way, there wouldn't be any blood left behind while the body was moved. Well, that explains the dragging motion that I saw in the blood. But then what about Hifumi? I guess he must have been... Wait, if he was lifted, then they would... Hifumi's big, cold body is laying on the floor. His really big body. I mean, how on earth was the killer able to move someone so big? From the nurse's office where he was discovered to here the repository. All the way from the first floor to the third floor. And all without anyone noticing it. How the hell? It's no good, I just don't get it. Can think about it later. For now I have to finish investigating Hifumi himself. If I recall correctly, Hifumi's fatal injury was also a blow to the head. Probably from Justice Hammer 3, which was laying on the floor in the nurse's office. Huh? Wait. Something's off about his body. Why am I getting this feeling? Something's different. Something about Hifumi's body in the nurse's office versus his body right now. That's it, his glasses! When his body was in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with the blood. But now they're completely clean. Does that mean someone wiped his glasses off? But who would do that and why? Fumi's glasses have been... Okay. This is probably very wrong. But this is what I think happened. I think that in reality, Hifumi was the one that killed Taka. But then, and he pretended like he was attacked. He set it up so that it looked like he was one of the victims. It's why he only hurt, what's-her-face? Celeste. Instead of actually going through with it. Because these two were having a lover's quarrel over, what's her name again? I forget the AI's name. But there is a reason for one of them to attack the other. And considering the whole Robo Justice thing is a pretty weird anime thing, I wouldn't be surprised if this was Hifumi's idea. So he attacks Taka at one point. I think. I'm not remembering the timeline correctly. But he attacks Taka, kills him, somehow takes his butt, goes back down to the nurse's office, pretends to be dead, because when there was the announcement that a body was discovered, it requires 3 people to activate it. There were also 3 people that noticed, wait, were there 3 people that noticed Taka? No, there weren't. Okay, never mind. Never mind my theory then. But, I still somehow think that Hifumi killed this guy, dragged him here, and then someone killed him here. Because why else would his glasses be clean? Alright. Okay, there's definitely a lock on the door, but it can only be unlocked from inside the repository. I don't see any way to lock it from in the art. Yeah. So, he was in here, he locked the door. Or someone was, I don't know. Yaka, do you think Hiro really did it? I don't see how anyone could think otherwise. When the attacks and murders and disappearances all happened, every one of us had an alibi. The last thing Hifumi said when he died... Yeah, he said Hiro's name.
So, in other words...
There's no room to suspect anyone else. Okay, but if he did do it, why would he hide his identity with that weird costume? Maybe he thought that no matter what happened, he'd be safe as long as his face was covered. Because he's the fool of the century, you see. I mean, he is kinda dumb. But do you really think that's enough to explain it? I feel like there's a clue hiding in there somewhere.
What?
And is that it? That's all that bothers you about the case? Well, no, there are a few other things. Like, why did the killer try to hide the bodies? They probably figured out if we couldn't find the bodies, we couldn't complete our investigation. But if that's the case, we found the bodies pretty easily, didn't we? Again, it comes back to the fact that the culprit was a moron. Is that really all there is to it? The other thing that bothers me is, Why did they bother killing 2 people?
What?
Because all the rule says if you can kill someone and get away with it, you graduate, right? So if you're the killer, your #1 priority is not getting caught. But killing 2 people means more clues, more chances you'll get found out.
I see.
Hold on, perhaps... I see, so that's what that means. Is everything okay?
That's enough.
Don't talk to me as if we're friends. Huh? What's with that attitude? But you have my appreciation.
Goodbye.
Thanks to you, I might have some fun with this after all. His mysterious words hung in the air as he left the repository. He talked as if he figured something out. But if he did, would I have killed him to tell me what it was? No, the guy's a dick. But I think I figured it out as well. Hifumi tried to kill Taka so that he could get out of there with the laptop. He had the laptop stashed somewhere. So he killed Taka, dragged him here with a tarp, where he was found by Hiro. Hiro killed him with the recently washed mallet because he somehow Hiro killed him with the recently washed mallet. Killed him with the mallet, washed it, and hid in here until everybody was outside the art room. Then he unlocked it and went somewhere else. So it is somewhat simple, but it's also a little complicated. But I think that is what happened. Alright. So can I leave yet? I guess not. Oh, of course, this thing! It's a dolly. It doesn't have a handle. I saw this in the art room before. I guess it's used to move statues around. It's kind of awkward, but if you bend down, it's not too hard to use. Oh, but wait. Wasn't this in the equipment room where he found Taka's body? And look at the wheel. There's a blood stain on it. So there's blood on the wheel of the dolly that was moved from the equipment room to the repository. What's the explanation for that? So that explains the skid marks that was in the blood. They didn't drag Taka. They moved Taka up, put this dolly under him in the blood, and dragged him off. Okay. Anything else? Can't leave just yet. I guess I should talk to Hina and Sakura then. There are many aspects to this incident. Too many, to be honest. Considering that, it may be good to look back on everything that's happened.
So then...
Would you like my help? Yeah, sure. Yeah, let's look back on things. This morning, only 4 of us met up at the dining hall. Hina, Kyoko, you, and myself. We waited for the others, but nobody showed up, so we decided to go look for them. It was around 8 o'clock when we began our search. And soon after we split up, Kyoko disappeared. After that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room on the 3rd floor, then quickly came and got you and me. According to Celeste, she was attacked by a suspicious individual and lay unconscious for about an hour. In other words, she was attacked an hour before we found her, meaning just after 7 o'clock. Based on the picture Celeste took, we discovered her attacker was dressed in a strange costume. It was Robo Justice. It also became clear that this Robo Justice had dragged Hifumi away. After meeting up with Toki and Byakuyo, we began searching for the costume assailant. We found an injured Hifumi in the library on the 2nd floor. We took him down to the nurse's office on the 1st floor, then resumed our search. But not too long after leaving the nurse's office... What's wrong? I saw a shadow, something moved around on the top of the stairs. Based on Celeste's claims, we went back up to the 2nd floor where we split up and began searching. Then right after that, Celeste screamed. This time they had apparently seen the suspect on the 3rd floor. Hearing her screams, we quickly made our way to the 3rd floor. Celeste, what's wrong? That was a rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costume man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared. And then... Ungya! Huh? What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been Hifumi, he's in the nurse's office. This is bad, come on, we have to go back. At this point, we decided to split up into two groups. Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office. Meanwhile, you, Byakuya, and Toko pursued the suspect on the 3rd floor. And when we got back to the nurse's office, you found Hifumi's corpse, which is also when we heard the body discovered announcement play. I left Celeste and Hina alone and headed back to the 3rd floor to tell the others what happened.
However,
But at the same time, we had discovered Taka's body in the equipment room, which means Hifumi and Taka's body were discovered right around the same time, because I remembered hearing the body discovered announcement play right after finding Taka. And that's when I showed up and told you and Byakuya that Hifumi had been killed, right? Then you, me, and Byakuya all head back to the nurse's office, leaving behind Toko, who had fainted. But as soon as we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who just arrived to tell us something very unusual. Hifumi's body has disappeared. We hurried back to the nurse's office to discover that his corpse was in fact gone. Then we remembered we had the abandoned unconscious Toko and rushed back to the equipment room. This can't be happening. Are we hallucinating all this with something? This time, Taka's body had disappeared, so from there we began our search for both of the missing bodies. And after some time, Celeste told us she found the bodies and we all headed to the repository. And there we discovered the two bodies that apparently vanished. And that brings us up to now.
however,
Looking back, things have certainly been very active. If you want to look back on the case again, just let me know. Find any time. So, that confirms one thing. I was wrong. 3 people were there when they discovered Taka. It was Toko, Byakuya, and Sakura, which means the body that was been discovered announcement when we first found Hifumi, it wasn't Hifumi at all. It was Taka. And that means Hifumi wasn't dead. He was playing dead. The reason why was because he either got some fake blood or he smacked himself with a hammer. Notice, when Makoto and when they first found Taka, Makoto noted the stench of blood. When they found Hifumi, no such blood was talked about, which means the blood they had at that time was fake. So, here's what I think happened. Well, actually, before that, there is still one question. That is exactly, how was Hifumi able to get the picture of himself being taken by the robot? And here, this is what I think. I think that camera has some weird sort of Photoshop in it. The reason why I think this is because of the picture that we saw before of Mondo, Chihiro, and red-headed baseball man whose name I'm forgetting. I think that picture was taken of all 3 of them at one point, and it was something in the camera was used to make that picture using their faces. I think Hifumi did the same thing again with that camera because I think there's something special about it. By the way, Hifumi dressed himself up as Robo Whatever Face, attacked Celeste, gave himself an alibi by attacking himself, went down to the nurse's office, pretended to be attacked again, and then pretended to be dead. Around the same time that he was found, Taka was also found because at one point or another, he killed Taka. Perhaps he killed him a while ago and then stuck him in the equipment room. And while the others were all trying to get up and find everyone, he snuck up himself, and well, I'm not so sure about that one. By the way, that shadow that they saw, I think that might have been either Hifumi moving, no, not Hifumi moving Taka's body, but Hifumi moving around at that point. So either way, after Taka's body was moved, Hifumi took him here to hide the body, but then he was found by Hiro. And Hiro, seeing that he killed Taka, killed him. The only question is if I'm right about the camera and where Hiro is at the moment.
So,
Hey, I'm Makoto. I've been thinking about something. Excuse me. It's about the repository. Huh? What is it? After Fumi and Taka's bodies disappeared, we split up to look around, right? I was really scared, so me and Sakura stuck together.
but
We came right to the repository too, you know, to look around. But when we got here, the repository was locked. We couldn't get inside. Yeah, same. It was locked? What do you mean it was locked? I checked it. We came here as soon as the search started, so there's no way someone could have beat us here. And if that's true, then who locked it and why is it locked now? I wondered the same thing. The door was locked when the search for the bodies began, but now it's wide open. There might have been some secret lurking in there. I'll probably have to leave this area to figure it out. Yeah. The door can only be locked from the inside of the repository, which makes me wonder. Hina and Sakura both confirmed the door was locked after the search for the bodies began. And the door is designed so that it can only be locked from the inside the repository. In other words, when Hina checked it, someone had already gone in the repository and locked the door. When they were done, they unlocked and left, which is why it's unlocked now. So that certain someone, Hina claims there's no way someone could have beaten them to the repository. Was it the killer who's still roaming free, or was it one of the victims? There's gotta be a clue around here somewhere. Maybe I should check somewhere else. There are some places I already know about. First, the nurse's office, where Fumi was found, then the equipment room, where Taka was found. Alright. Our leash has been unleashed. Well, our leash has been broken, I should say. Okay. Yes. Let's check out the equipment room. Alright. Oh, there's Jill. I was sleeping right here when the killer carried the body away.
what?
I was super pissed I missed such an ultimately rare event. Okay. Let's check out the hammer. Justice Hammer 4, the weapon that was used to kill Taka. The body was moved, but the murder weapon was just left here. There's some kind of tire mark going through the pool of blood in the middle of the room. That reminds me about the dolly in the repository. That was the blood on its tire. Could the blood have been from here? Which could mean that Taka's body was moved from the equipment room to the repository using the dolly. Both rooms are on the 3rd floor, so that should definitely have been possible. Equipment room bloodstain has been added to the blah blah blah. Alright, but even if the dolly was used to move Taka's body, what about Hifumi? Fumi's body was in the nurse's office on the 1st floor. Even with a dolly, there's no way to get up to the 3rd floor. That's still a total mystery. Alright, I'm guessing these are the tarps that were used. Huh? This tarp. I feel like I've seen it somewhere before, just recently too. Oh, it's a Kuma coin. Makoto! Makoto, you fool! Be smart! Figure it out! Figure it out, Makoto! Come on! Come on, Makoto! God fucking damn it, you're a fucking idiot, Makoto! Ah! Frustrating. I understand that the protagonist is meant to be dumber than the player, but come on! That one's very obvious. Alright, let's take a look. Hey, it's Celeste. What are you investigating, Celeste? I'm not investigating anything, precisely speaking. I'm simply going around seeing if Hiro might be hiding somewhere. What about you? Oh, you know, I'm just checking this and that. The main thing on my mind is how someone could have moved Hifumi's body.
Let's see.
How Hifumi was moved, eh? When it disappeared, you were supposed to be in the nurse's office, right?
Yes, indeed.
Hina was not feeling well, so I stayed behind to look after her. But then she seemed to be getting worse, so I took her to the bathroom. When he got back, the body was gone. We could not have been gone for more than a minute or two, though. Yeah, Hina said the same thing. So then the killer was able to get in and move Hifumi's body in that short of a time?
Indeed.
It would seem so. To carry off someone as big as Hifumi in only a couple of minutes is... I can't think of it as anything less than impossible. Celeste's account. Alright. Anything else? Is that garbage bad? It's just a normal trash can. Oh wait, there's something inside it. Small... see a handkerchief for cleaning glasses. And it's got some kind of cartoon character on it. But it's also covered in blood.
Oh.
Did you find something? Yeah, there was a cleaning cloth in the trash can.
Huh?
Cleaning cloth? And it's all bloody. Whoever this belongs to must have used it to wipe up some blood. But who would need to do something like that? I haven't the slightest idea. Yeah, me either, but I think it might be important. Alright, so that confirms that Hifumi was the one that cleaned his glasses, but it also tells me something else. The blood was not fake like I had first realized. It's real. That's real blood. However, where could he have gotten that blood from? Not himself, I imagine, unless he really did smack himself in the head with a hammer, but given the state that left him in, I doubt it. Here's what I think happened, actually. I think... Got him!